In this video, I'm going to talk about how I built up a relatively high-grade set of 1968 Topps Baseball. Many of you know that I'm primarily a set collector, but the way I did 68 Topps was very different from any other set I've ever put together. The inspiration to build the set came from looking over the high-end catalogs I get from auction houses like Robert Edwards and Heritage. In these listings, many of the sets have a number of graded cards of Hall of Famers, but I didn't see many sets that had all of the Hall of Famers graded, unless it was a 100% graded set. I thought there might be a good opportunity to build a 1968 set of high value by having most of the cards raw in a binder and 100% of the Hall of Famers in relatively high grade, preferably an 8. To maintain a reasonable budget, I knew I would have to do this over time. So in November 2018, I got started. I had a couple different strategies to build the set. For the binder set of raw cards, I wanted these in EX or EX Mint condition. With 1968, it's not as hard as you might think. A total of 23% of the 1968 cards submitted to PSA are given a 9 or 10. Compare that to 12.5% for 1967 and 14.1% for 1969. The 68 set doesn't seem to have any widespread printing issues, aside from centering, which is a common issue of all Topps vintage sets. The 1968 set is on good cardstock, and the high-numbered series don't have the very high premiums associated with other sets. 68 Topps is a great choice for collectors to build a set from. For the most part, I built up the raw set by buying large and small lots of cards on eBay. I bought some lots of 100 or 200 cards for between 22 and 35 cents a card. When I got down to needing a few dozen cards, I bought up singles from Greg Morris on eBay or went to card shows and bought those from set dealers. When I was done, I had doubles of 250 cards, 42% of the set, which allowed me to pick the best examples and sell off the rest. I had another 55 cards that were triples or lower grade, and I sold those off too. All of those duplicate cards brought in about $170, which helped to offset the cost of the set a little bit. After deducting the sales of the doubles, I paid $615 for the 581 cards for my binder. And that includes many Hall of Famers like Ernie Banks, Carly Yastrzemski, and others. I thought that was pretty good. The most I paid for a raw card was $59 for this number 490 Superstars. The most expensive and toughest common to find, without a doubt, was number 505, Joe Sparma. This one cost me $11, which is on the low end. Really, all the Tigers cards are tough to find and carry a premium. The demand is very high because of the World Championship. The team card number 528 cost me $30, and the Mayo Smith and most of the player cards are also expensive. There are a few other expensive raw cards to watch out for. The league leader cards at the beginning of the set can be pricey. Some are $10 to $15 cards. The most expensive is number 3, NL RBI leaders with Clemente and Aaron on it. The All-Star cards aren't too bad. Of the 20 cards, Clemente and Aaron are the most expensive, at about $20 a card. But several are priced similar to commons. The 1968 set has 12 different card variations, including the expensive yellow-lettered Brinkman-Cox cards and the white-lettered McCormick card. These cards are so prohibitively expensive that I didn't even bother to try to find them. To add another wrinkle to this project, I bought some graded commons in 9 and Gem Mint 10 grade. I figured this would be a cost-effective way to boost the overall quality of the set, if I could find some relative bargains. I had no real plan of which commons to buy. I now have 13 commons in grade 9. The most I paid was about $22 for one of them. The lowest was only $11. I have 3 Gem Mint 10 cards from the 1968 set. I got these for $70 to $75 each, and it seems like a good overall investment given my objective for the set. Before I get into the graded Hall of Famers, I wanted to show some of the key non-Hall of Fame graded cards that I bought. I thought this Denny McLain 8 would be important for his 31-win season. I got the Rose 8 because he's treated like a Hall of Famer. I bought this Tony Oliva 8 because I honestly thought he was in the Hall of Fame. He's not. I also thought it was important to add this Roger Maris 8 because of his contributions to the game and its popularity in the set. Now, the Hall of Fame players. There are 37 Hall of Fame players in the 1968 set. I decided to just buy the base player cards. You can go crazy and get the Hall of Fame League Leader, World Series, All-Star, and multiplayer cards, but that adds 27 more cards to chase. Then there are 6 Hall of Fame managers, but I didn't get those either. As it was, it took me almost 2 years to chase down the 37 graded cards that I did need. I was able to get all the Hall of Famers in grade 8, with 2 exceptions. The Ryan rookie card is over $4,000 in an 8, so way out of my price range. I settled on a 6, which was still $600, the most I paid for a single card in the set. The Mantle 8 is about $1,100, so I got a 7 for a little under $600. All told, it cost me about $4,550 to buy all of the graded Hall of Fame and key cards. That's certainly a lot of money, but done over the span of 2 years, it was bearable. I'll start with the most expensive cards in the set. The Ryan rookie is in another league. As with all the cards I'm going to show you, getting one well-centered is a real challenge. If you're putting together this set, you need a lot of patience to resist buying ones that are off-centered. This one is real nice. Be warned, the Ryan rookie has really exploded in value in 2020. It's up 25% alone this year. I'm glad I got mine when I did. I bought this bench rookie a couple years ago, and it's doing really well this year too. It's been selling for over $800 lately. This Mantle 7 was the very last card I needed for the set. I looked for over a year for one that had decent centering at a fair price. I overpaid for this one, but I think with the centering, it's worth it. Among the top cards in the 68 set, the Clemente is an anomaly. Its value is pretty flat this year, staying at about $340. The Maze card took me about as long as the Mantle to find in a centered example. It and the Aaron card have seen their values climb pretty well this year. These next 3 cards made me really glad I bought them when I did. All have been showing strong price growth this year. This Rose is well centered and a great pickup for the price. Something is going on with the sales prices of the 68 Crew 8. They are up almost 30% this year. I can't figure out why. I really underpaid on this one. This Seaver card was one of the first 2 graded cards I ever bought. I wish I'd gotten a better centered copy though. But now the card is pushing $300, so I'll hold it. The Seaver is where I would personally draw the line of the top tier players of 1968. This spreadsheet shows the ranked values for the other graded cards in the set in an 8. It's interesting to see who collectors value over others. The Maris card does very well compared to actual Hall of Famers. McLean too. At the bottom of the list you can see that 7 of the last 10 lowest valued cards are pitchers. Ironically, these lower cost bottom cards prove to be some of the toughest ones for me to find. The pops on these cards are not very high, they just aren't in strong demand, and they just don't come up for sale that often. For example, the Aparicio 8 has only 6 completed eBay sales so far in 2020. Now that the set is complete, what are my plans for it? My original plan was to put it up for sale at one of those large private auction houses as soon as I was finished. But then the card hobby changed. As you've noticed, vintage prices have been climbing steadily, especially for blue chip Hall of Famers and popular sets. That's been really true for 1968. Many of the key Hall of Famers are up 20% this year alone. The graded cards as a whole are up nearly 14% collectively. It just doesn't make sense to sell right now, not when prices are still climbing. So I decided to hold the set for a while. Definitely learned an important lesson in card investing. Blue chip Hall of Famers from popular sets do really well over time. In total, I have about $5,600 invested in the set. Can I get my money back out of it? I think so, especially holding it for a while. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about the 1968 set. This has been a really fun project to put together. As always, I appreciate your comments and continued support of the channel.